You are welcome to the Messiah Revelation channel. We are a prophetic channel. We are preparing the world for the end times. Are you preparing for the end times? What about your family members? What about your friends? What about your co-workers? Are they preparing? Are you preparing them? Today, we are focusing on our children, your children, the children in your neighborhood, your friends' children. Are you preparing them for the arrival of the Messiah? Today, we are focusing on raising children for disobedience. And you can look at it from two angles. You are raising children of disobedience. You are raising children for disobedience. Are they the same thing? Probably yes. America is raising children for disobedience. It means that they are raising children who will disobey God. If you are saying you are raising children of disobedience, it means the children are already disobedient and you are raising them. We are not talking about raising children who are disobedient. We are talking about raising children for the purpose of being disobedient to God. Children may be disobedient. They may be disobedient to their parents. Some children are very respectful to their parents, but they are not respectful to other people, to the adults, to their friends. And some children are disobedient to anybody, everybody, including their teachers. But woe unto you when you raise children for the purpose of being disobedient to God. And this is what is happening in Babylon, United States. The government is supporting raising children for disobedience against God. They are turning their war to children. We'll be talking about America's war against God. But before we talk about America's war against God, we should focus on raising children for them to be disobedient to God. And they do it intentionally, purposely. And we are saying this because of what is happening in some schools in America. After school Satan clubs, there are some clubs established in schools, elementary schools. They call it after school Satan clubs. They teach them about Satan, basically, because if you have after school Satan clubs, you name it Satan clubs, you are not teaching them about the Bible, you are teaching them about disobedience. You are teaching them about Satanism, Luciferianism. It means you are raising children for disobedience. You are not raising children of disobedience. You are raising children for disobedience. I was reading an article from the website, Now the End Begins, and they cited a case where a town called Lebanon in Connecticut, there's a school there, and they have after school Satan club. They've established a program for children. So after school, I think around 3:30 p.m. they start teaching children in the clubs after school Satan clubs, Satan, Satan. It's very, very pathetic because they are raising children for disobedience. Does the Bible talk about disobedience regarding children of disobedience? Yes. Let's look at Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2, the book of Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2, wherein in the time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now work in the children of disobedience. So Paul is talking about children of disobedience. And Paul is telling the people in Ephesus, the Ephesians, that in the time past, previously, before they knew the Lord, before they were born again, they walk according to the course of this world, according to the material culture of the world, according to the doctrines of men in the world, according to American standards. America is the best country in the world, is the most civilized nation in the world. It is the richest nation in the world. What is good for America must be good for the world. Their lifestyle must be good for the world. And everybody should copy them. And that is the thinking that you had before you knew the Lord, before you knew the truth. That was what you thought before you saw America descending into moral depravity. That's what you thought before you heard that men are having sex with men and women are having sex with women. That is what you thought before you heard people are agitating for laws to be made so that anybody can have sex with children, pedophilia. And Paul is telling the people in Ephesians that in the time past, you walk according to the course of this world. You walked according to what was popular in your country, what was trending in your country. You walk according to the fashion in your country. You dress according to the fashion in the country. And the fashion in the country was to expose your body. And now, even in conservative societies in Africa and elsewhere, people are walking according to the course of this world. And Paul is saying they walk according to the prince of the power of the air. Paul is using big words here. Prince of the power of the air. Is Satan. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. He is very powerful. He controls the air. He controls lightning and thunder. And he was able to command lightning and thunder to destroy the children and the property, the households and animals of Job. And Paul is saying that the spirit that work in the children of disobedience. So before you knew the Lord, you probably walk just like that, according to the standards in your country, the standard in your church, according to the standard in your community, in your neighborhood. And it was because you work as children of disobedience. So it's true. Ephesians 2 verse 2 is talking about children of disobedience. They are disobedient because they are following Satan, who is the prince of the power of the air, and he has the spirit of disobedience. And the spirit of disobedience has entered schools in America. And so some of these schools are establishing what they call after school Satan clubs for children to stay in the school, to have fun, and be indoctrinated about the things that are demonic. There are many schools that have introduced after school Satan clubs in America, but the article that I read is focusing on a city called Lebanon in the state of Connecticut. And sponsors of the program, they have nice argument to support the program. It will be an opportunity for children to appreciate the natural wonders in the world, and they should not bother about the fear of everlasting horrors. The Bible talks about everlasting horrors because those who will be cast into the lake of fire, they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. And if you read the book of Revelation, those who accept the mark of the beast, they will be tormented day and night in the presence of the Lamb. And the Lamb is the Messiah. And so the after-school Satan clubs, they are changing the minds of children not to think about the everlasting horrors that the Bible talks about. They want them to think about the natural wonders in the world. And if you are in America, the natural wonders are there. You will see young girls who are undergoing therapy to be young men, and young men undergoing therapy to be young girls. Is one of the wonders in the world. Pornography is a wonder in America, and violence is a wonder in America. Disobedience is a wonder in America, and that's the argument being used by the promoters of after Satan school clubs in America. They want the children to appreciate the wonders in the world and not to think about everlasting horrors that the Bible talks about it. After all, the Bible, is it not a mere book? Is it not a conspiracy theory? Is God not dead? Is there a God at all? Let the children appreciate the natural wonders of America. Nice food, nice drinks, to think about sex when they are young, to experiment with drugs when they are young, and to play with guns when they are young. Let them not think about the horrors, everlasting horrors. Let them appreciate the wonders in this world. And that is Lebanon, the city of Lebanon in Connecticut. The program is after school Satan club. after school Satan indoctrination. And there are certain things that bothered me when I read the article, and they are teaching the children that Satan is just a literary figure. And Satan is just a figure of imagination. And Satan is not real. He's just a literary figure. And so they are talking about Satan as if Satan was just an imagination. And Satan is real. And the worshippers of Satan, they are not stupid. They know Satan is real. That's why they make sacrifice to them. That's why celebrities sell their mothers and fathers in order to worship Satan. They know Satan is real. The occult grandmasters who have repented, they know Satan is real. The Illuminati know Satan is real. So why do you indoctrinate children and tell them Satan is just a literary figure? And Satan doesn't exist. Why should you indoctrinate the children? And why do you choose after school program to do that? Another argument is that children should think for themselves. Hey, children should think for themselves. Yes, a parent cannot or should not think for the children. The children should think for themselves. What are they doing? They are raising children for disobedience. There's another argument that they are using. The school in Lebanon, Connecticut, the after-school Satan program, they are saying that they need equal treatment because the school also has other programs, Good News Club. In the Good News Club, I believe they teach them about God, they teach them about godly things, they teach them about morals and things that children need for their upbringing. So that as after school Satan club promoters are saying that they need equal treatment. If you allow other clubs to come and teach about God, then you should allow us to teach about Lucifer. You should allow us to teach in the name of Satan. It's a very pathetic argument, but you are in a country where there's a law, it's a constitution, is saying that the government of America will not establish a religion and it will not prohibit the free exercise of religion. And Luciferianism is a religion, and the government should do nothing to prevent Luciferian worship. And so you can do whatever you want to do. Any religion goes in America, and that's why people have the audacity to establish after-school Satan clubs, including the one that is going on in a city called Lebanon in Connecticut. It's just an example of disobedience, raising children for disobedience against God. And they are incurring the wrath of God. The Lord is waiting at the appropriate time, and the children will suffer. I pity the children because these children are young, they cannot think for themselves. But their teachers and the school authorities are saying that the children should think for themselves. and they should join the after-school Satan clubs that they have established. And the scripture is very clear that Satan is the prince of the power of the air, and he is the spirit of disobedience. And that spirit of disobedience has entered into children in America. And so they are now having after-school Satan clubs. They are not reading the Bible. Why should they read the Bible? Why should they read the Bible? They should not read the Bible because the government of America waged war against God a long time ago. In 1962, in a famous case, Angel versus Vitale, the Supreme Court said that you cannot mention the name of God in prayers in public schools. So the children cannot mention the name of God in prayers in public schools. It's a result of the war that the government of America and Babylon fought against God who created the universe. The Supreme Court also is saying that you cannot teach about creationism without teaching about evolutionism, because it is not conclusive that God created the world. The world evolved. So the theory of evolutionism is supported by the Supreme Court of the United States, and that is the law. And it is the court that has been influenced by Freemason presidents appointing Freemason judges. And it is a court where the last justice, a graduate of Harvard, a graduate from Harvard, when she was asked during her nomination hearing whether there is a difference between a man and a woman, the law graduate from Harvard Law School did not want to answer. Woe unto those who say good is evil and those who say evil is good. So what do you think? If somebody challenges the after-school Satan club in court and it goes to the Supreme Court, what do you think the Supreme Court will say? The Supreme Court will say there should be equal treatment. You are allowing good news clubs to be established in schools teaching about God, and you should allow people to teach about Satan. After all, it is part of their religion. After all, it's not everybody who believes in God. And that is the argument that was used to take God away from the classrooms in America, because mentioning the name of God violated the constitutional rights of people who do not believe in God. And that violates the equal protection clause of the American Constitution. And so I believe that if somebody were to challenge the after-school Satan club in Lebanon, Connecticut, the Supreme Court will rule against them, because the government of the United States began a war against God in 1962, taking the name of God from public schools in America, and they continued their war against God when they ruled against teaching about creationism, taking away the Bible's records in Genesis about God creating the universe. It was taken out of schools in America. And lo and behold, the tradition, the biblical tradition of marriage between a man and a woman was thrown out of court as part of America's war against God. In the case of Obergefell versus Hodges, decided on June 26, 2015, A man can marry a man, and a woman can marry a woman. And that is the law. That is the standard. And so the young men, the children in America, they are wearing same-sex dresses. They can go to same-sex restrooms because that is the culture of the day. And Paul said in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2 that in the past you walk according to the course of the world. You walk according to the spirit of the prince of the power of the air, who is the spirit of disobedience. And you were children of disobedience. And so this is what is going on. America is training children to be disobedient to God. And they are preparing for a showdown on the day of judgment, when the Lord will rain judgment on the children of disobedience, the children for disobedience. The children of disobedience anywhere in the world are also children for disobedience, because as in the case of America, they are being trained with the purpose of being disobedient to God, so they can change their gender. And somebody's gender is a monkey, somebody's gender is a dog. More than 30 genders in America. It's happening because Babylon, America, in the last days is staging her last battle against God. And so when you go to the so-called Ivy League schools, Brown, Harvard, Yale, over 30% of the students identify as being LGBT. They are creating children for disobedience against God, and that is what they are doing. And they are laying the groundwork for the final destruction of the children of disobedience. Somebody should pray for them. And I met somebody in an African country. He's an African born in Africa, but who moved to the United States when he was young. And he married an African-American woman and moved to Africa. I will not mention the name of the country. I met them. I saw the children. I interviewed him. You move back from America with your wife, African-American, with your children. How are the children coping in an African society? And he said the children love it. When they go to school, the teachers beat them as part of discipline, but the children love it. They love it better than when they were in America. And the African-American woman loves it because the children are being trained not to be children of disobedience. And the father told me the last straw that broke the camel's back, the last reason, the last justification why he brought the children to an African society was that it was getting to a time where he could not control the children. He could not control the children because the children are allowed to think for themselves. Tomorrow, they can change from being a boy to a girl. Tomorrow, they can change from being a boy to a girl or a girl to a boy. And he had to flee because He didn't want the children to be children for disobedience. And so wherever you are, you have to take care of your children. You have a divine responsibility. Don't train your children to be children for disobedience, because on the day of judgment, you will account for it. Don't be a father of disobedience. Don't be a mother of disobedience. Don't be a teacher of disobedience. Remember, Ephesians 2 verse 2. You walk according to the spirit of disobedience. But when you are in Christ, you must obey the laws of the Most High. You have to be holy. Judgment is coming. Prepare for judgment. And your preparation should include preparing your children not to be children for disobedience. Children in America are being raised to be children for disobedience. And here comes after school Satan clubs. No wonder when they grow up, they already have been indoctrinated. They are preparing for the Antichrist, and they are raising children for disobedience so that they will fit into the kingdom of the Antichrist. Thank you for watching this video. Don't raise children for disobedience. Don't raise children of disobedience. Thank you. I'm leaving the links of the video in the description box. Subscribe to the channel. Share the message to all the four corners of the world. They are coming for your children. They are targeting them to be disobedient to God so that they will be eternally destroyed in the lake of fire.